As you can see on the screen, my name is Josephine Mwedekeli, and I'm a very excited member of Forever Living Products. And as you can see, the title for today, we are talking about brain health. The month of June is dedicated to prostate health and brain health. So this evening, we're going to be talking about how to maintain optimal cognitive function. So without further ado, I'm going to start now because I have a lot of information to pass over within the time given. So I hope you are listening intently. And for my training, you need to have a good pen and a notepad. Or the only reason you may not need to do that if you're already taking a lot of our products, especially the omega-3 fish oil, which is very, very important for brain function. So I'm going to be taking you through again. Welcome to you all. All right, this is as you can see there. Normally, when I'm training on if you're doing physical training, I normally show this slide, but again, because training on Zoom today, I will not put all of you in waste much of your time. And I'm just going to proceed. As you can see there on the slide, it says, where is your second brain? This is the brain we are going to be talking about today. But there's another one there, okay? This is the brain, and the second one there is, where's this second brain? Where does it sit? So without asking so many questions, let me take you out and show you where the second brain sits. Okay, you can guess now. As you can see there, do you know that your gut health is directly affected, directly affects your brain because of the brain-gut axis, which we'll be talking about today. As you can see there, that's the brain, that's the primary brain. Then this is the second brain, which is the digestive system. And for your information, over 95% of medical challenges it goes back to the digestive or gut health. So they're interconnected through the gut-brain axis, which I'm going to explain as we proceed to give those who are new better understanding. So this is an anatomical picture of the brain we're going to be talking about today. So as you can see there, now this is this is the area we're interested in today. The other time when I was trained on Parkinson's disease, we were talking about substantial nigra, which is a different part, the anatomical part of the brain. But today we are going to be focusing on this area known as hippocampus. Hippocampus is a Greek word which means sea monster or sea horse. So it's a Greek word. So you can see other part of the brain. God is an amazing God because of the way He has packaged everything together. We tend to take everything for granted. But if any of this part goes wrong, the resultant effect is terrible. So as you can see that this is we're going to be talking also about the nerves. There are trillions of them. You can see that's one nerve there. That's with dendrites and the axon here. You can see all this, they're interconnected here. And this area is known as the synapse, where you get, you call neurotransmitter, which I will explain later in a plain language, transmission of important chemicals exchanged to keep the brain optimally working together. So let me move on. So here I'm going to explain when we're talking about brain-gut axis. That's the connection between the digestive system and the brain. Very, very important. You can see there, it's important because of this connection also with what I'll be talking about later, the microbiome, which is a population of bacteria, fungi, and the virus. So it's a two-way type of movement. Here you can see I don't want to be too, I want to keep it simple, but it's a two-way system here. You can see this brain we're talking about here is in constant communication. It's in constant communication by nourishing one another. That's the brain and the digestive system. So in a way, they actually support one another. Now, that's the brain again. And for your information, an adult brain weighs about 1.3 kg. And it uses, it makes up that's the 2% of your body weight. But it's amazing that it consumes a lot of energy. It consumes 20% of the energy, a lot of energy. Why? Because the brain is functional all the time. As long as you're alive, even if you're sleeping, the brain is still functional. That's why it consumes a lot of energy. So here is showing the connection between the digestive system again to give you better understanding. Here you can see all the within the digestive system, you can see we have what you call the different beneficial microbiomes. And that's a normal, this is very, very important for optimum health. That's now dealing with the gut. Here we have this abnormal central nervous system function. As you can see, there's communication between the brain and the gut. So you can see here, this abnormal, I would say, when everything is not working properly, abnormal gut working with the brain, especially when it's due to stress, you get a lot of problem with the cognitive function. Again, I can see when there's alteration in caused by inflammation. And again, when the gut is not balanced, especially with those trillions of different bacteria, when they're not balanced. So these indirectly affect the work of the brain. Here is another connection here where now we're going to be talking about vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve. As you can see, there it's also known as the 10th cranial nerve, which is important for digestion. It's very important for mood and also immune system. So why is it important? Because it sends information to the nerve. As you can see there, the connection with the longest nerve, vagus nerve, you can see how it's connected even to the small intestine. So when we normally talk about central nervous system, but again, there's another one known as the enteric nervous system, which covers the gut and the second dense neurological system in the body next to, which is also after the central nervous system. So as I said before, it is the vagus nerve is directly connected to the brain. And I said before, 80% of the information goes. Can you imagine that 80% of information goes to the gut, to the digestive system, and only 20% of the information comes out from the brain? So God is an amazing God to keep everything what we call homeostasis, everything normal state condition. So here, this is another information I need to pass over to you. As you can see that the connection between the same vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, and the brain. So here you can see within the digestive system, what I was talking about is the microbiome. And it's very, very important because the microbiome, they're able to produce the vitamins. As you can see, all these are metabolites. They're very, very important. Vitamin K, you can see dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter there to keep the brain functioning properly. So the digestive system is very, very critical when it's in balance to the health of the brain. So you can see there, you lose 85,000. Can you imagine it? We use 85,000 of brain cells every day. So which means you lose brain cell per second. And you lose 2 million brain cells until the blood, that we're not talking about blood circulation, the importance of blood circulation. You lose 2 million brain cells until blood flows return. So blood circulation is very important. So the brain shrinks at the rate of 5% per decade. Then obviously, due to aging process, after the age of 40, there's a rapid increase. It's even worse after the age of 70. So I'm just programming you to give better understanding for the slides which are coming. So there's another word which I need you to understand. It's known as neuroplasticity. So this is very, very important. It's just, what does it mean? It means the ability of the brain to rewire itself. Very, very important. In the olden days, so in my old school days, they will always say that, oh, the brain, it cannot divide. It now, in the new science, with science now, in scientific world, the brain does divide, is capable of dividing, provided you give it essential nutrients. Very, very important, and provided you make use of it, which we also I'll be talking to you later about the importance of keeping the brain healthy. So the word is known as neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to rewire itself. So now, in connection with the gut again, a very high diversity of microbiome is very, very important for what you call brain-derived brain-derived neuro factor. Very, very important. I'll be able to explain what it means later in connection with the cognitive function. Here, what can actually, nowadays we're living in a toxic world, which has got a serious impact on brain health. We are constantly exposed to all these different pesticides. Can you imagine all these things? They have serious impact on brain health. Also, which, as you can see, that affect not only it can cause systemic disorder, it can affect the immune system, and again, it's got so many other things. Especially think about small children being exposed to pesticide, which has got long impact on brain health. And this one, this was a recent information in Kenya. Here, this was to do with the potatoes. Now, potato is part of the basic carbohydrate, apart from ugali. So, according to information which was leaked out, they found out that the potatoes, some of certain type of potatoes were they call it sangi, which it used to be my favorite. Okay, you find that nowadays they are now growing these type of potatoes in area which is full of chemicals, full of pesticides, and many of the pesticide and insecticide they are using for growing these potatoes by farmers, they've been banned in Europe. And don't forget about serious impact on brain health. So, and one farmer actually confessed that there's an area which it grows only for his family, and there's an area for commercial purpose. Can you imagine that? No wonder we are getting sick. We have become a sick nation. So that's about this. We're talking about toxic potatoes on the Kenyan market. Now, these are another things which can cause a problem with when we're talking about brain health. The exposure to heavy metals. As you can see there, heavy metals can cause mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, let me talk to you. The mitochondria is part of a cell which is important for energy. So when the brain cell is exposed to all these heavy metals, it can become dysfunctional. You can see here, especially with the nowadays you can see the sea is so polluted, where we're getting the fish from, even the chicken that are being fed on this arsenic. And you can see there, lead is also another one. Aluminum is another I'll be talking about later. The food we take contain aluminum, apart from aluminum sulfuriate that we cook with. Medication we are taking is also contaminated with aluminum. Not even to talk, there's another one which I don't want to mention, to do with vaccine as a component. Now, chromium, which is very, very important, especially for the people who to prevent being diabetic, is found in the food, and it's also part of the industrial pollution affecting brain health. And again, it can affect when you talk about immune system, which is connected to brain health. You can see the effect of chromium as well. This is cadmium, another heavy metals polluting our brain. You can see that it can affect the heart, the kidneys, which is, I remember, the body is all interconnected. So now this is another new one here. I'm talking about living in a toxic environment. There's obviously, when you give nature, you push out back into nature. Nature has got a way of revenging. Here, there's a lot of plastics around, where the sea is getting more and more polluted with plastic, which is now known as microplastics. According to information, the latest information, microplastic is now being found in brain cells, which is known to weigh as much as a plastic spoon. Can you imagine that? So we are in trouble. So it's not only affecting men's reproductive health, it's also affecting cognitive function. All these are known what we call microplastic. You can see there, they're micro and also nano. Nano is smaller than micro. So this can disrupt endocrine cells. We're talking about hormones. You know, the brain is also connected with all those hormones, serotonin and dopamine. Very, very important for cognitive function. So when they're exposed to all these plastics, it can cause the brain to become dysfunctional. So another one here is known as MSG. That's a monosodium glutamate. It's very, very toxic to the brain, and it can affect the production of serotonin, which is very important for brain health, which is one of the main neurotransmitters or brain chemicals to keep the brain optimally functioning. So I know I will not mention any company. You can describe it as a good one in Africa, especially in this nation. It's got they sell a big container with red with the green on top. I don't mention company's name. Anyway, they cannot sue me. So here, this is it's a food enhancer, very popular in Chinese food, as you can see there. So this is a bit important information when you are cooking to avoid this type of MSG, because it's known, as I said, it's a very, very common toxin to the brain, known as MSG. So what are the effects here when the brain, I told there's a connection between the digestive system and the brain. So from the brain now, with all this exposure of the toxins, you can see all this toxic substance, pesticide, herbicide, and all the steroids, hormones, antibiotics. When you see them inside the digestive system, this is what is happening within the digestive system. And here, inside the digestive system, where food is absorbed, due to exposure to all these type of toxic substances, you find it can cause leakage. This is known as tight junction. Very, very important to make sure that when the food is only absorbed into the blood when it's ready. But because of they call it leaky gut or permeability of this area, so you get damage. You can see this tight junction, which keeps everything tight to prevent leaking. This is the normal situation. But in the case of when it's damaged here, you can see here, it can cause leakage. And that can eventually lead to what you call autoimmune disease. Here, you can see all these different, all these different toxins and chemicals come leaking to the blood. You can see here, I say that all this with herbicide, pesticide, are known to, is equal to killer in Latin. As you can see there, side equal killer in Latin. So this is very, very important when we are talking about digestive health, which is associated with brain health. So I hope you can understand this connection here. So let me quickly introduce you to basic terminologies. I don't want to be too technical because I want to keep it as simple as possible. But there's some certain medical terminology I would like to explain quickly. There's what you call, as you can see, they call it the blood-brain barrier. So when you look at the brain, the skull, it's the line, it's a protective layer on the inner surface of the brain, which is very, very important to keep any toxic substance outside, so it doesn't go inside the brain to cause any abnormality in the brain function. So it's known as blood-brain barrier. I hope you understand that. It helps to keep any toxic substance out. The only thing, one of the few things it's able to keep in is our omega-3 fish oil, as you'll be able to find out later. So you can see example of sometimes these are able to penetrate into the blood-brain barrier, like alcohol, antidepressant medications, all this type of anxiety medication, and you can see all this one non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. And you can see there, this is very important for sedation. It's one of the drugs they use to keep somebody calm. So that's a benzodiazepine. These are all the things that can penetrate through the blood-brain barrier. So another example of example of clinical condition which can weaken this blood-brain barrier. If somebody is suffering from diabetes, or if somebody is hypertensive, or if somebody due to damage of this blood-brain barrier, also we can get things which can weaken this special part of the brain known as blood-brain barrier. So another example here is, as I mentioned before, is known as gut-brain axis. As you've seen on that previous picture, it's a network of nerves connecting the brain to the digestive system. And its work is to send signals back and forward from the brain to the digestive system. Now, let me talk to you about neurotransmitters, just to explain what I mean by neurotransmitters. These are chemical messengers that send messages from one nerve, as I showed you that picture, the nerves, the one neuron to another. And I mentioned the example of neurotransmitters, very important for cognitive function, is dopamine. That's the one, they say feel-good factor. And another one is serotonin, and you find 95% of serotonin is produced in the digestive system, showing the importance of connection between the digestive system and the brain. So this is another one I need to explain to you, because this is known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It's very important. It's very important because it works like miracle growth for plant. So it's a fertilizer important for the brain, for brain health. Okay, they call it BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. What does it do? It triggers the brain to grow new brain cells every second. So this is critical, it's very important for the topic of today. And neuroplasticity, as I mentioned before, is the ability of the brain to renew itself, to rewire itself, to connect itself. Very important. And another word here, another terminology here is neurogenesis. Genesis means new formation. So what do we mean when we talk about neurogenesis? The formation of new brain cells. As I mentioned before, due to aging process, this neurogenesis is known to decline with age. Now, this is what I was saying before. This area, we're interested in this area of hippocampus, which I said is a Greek word meaning sea monster or seahorse. So what does it do? The hippocampus is very important, this area, because it's very important for learning and the formation of new memories, especially both long-term and short-term memories. So this area of the hippocampus is very critical for brain health. That's the area, as you can see there, that's the hippocampus in gold. So that's when you look at the brain itself, that's where it sits. It's very deep inside the brain. That's the hippocampus. So again, to show you, these are the nerve cells, all well connected, and that's how it is. God is an amazing God. And now let me talk about one of there are 3 types of dementia, but this is the most common one, okay? It's known as Alzheimer's. And I've decided to talk about it today because as a specialist, I get quite a few number of people talking to me, asking me, they've got relatives who have developed this type of disease, Alzheimer's disease. How can we in forever help them? So this is why I've decided to choose the most common of dementia. This is Alzheimer's, which, as you can see, is a degenerative neurological brain disorder, which is on the increase. So it's the most common cause of dementia, and it is known to be what happens? It's known to be caused by abnormal buildup of proteins. Buildup of proteins around brain cells. I'll be showing you more pictures to give you better understanding later. So it's a buildup of abnormal protein. That's the cause of Alzheimer's disease. And one of the proteins is called amyloid, which forms a deposit, called a plaque, okay, around those brain cells I showed you earlier on. So it's known as amyloid. And the other protein, which is also responsible for the formation of or cause of Alzheimer's disease, is also known as tau. So which I can describe, the deposit of this around the brain cells is it forms tangles. They call it tau tangles. within the brain cells. But in most cases, the amyloid, which is called by beta amyloid, comes first. Then if the damage is not repaired, you find the tau or the tangle now comes second. So all these two types of deposits are known to cause brain cells to die over a period of time, resulting in the gradual shrinkage of the brain. I am familiar with this because of my previous profession. We call it amyloid, beta amyloid, this protein, because I used to do special stain requests for special stain in pathology. And again, when the dissecting brain contain this type of deposit, you use a very sharp knife. And when you get to certain area of that brain which is thought to be containing amyloid or deposit, beta amyloid or deposit, you find that it's very, very gritty. And so it's like we call it, that's why it's referred to sometimes pathology as brain sand. So this is when you take under specialized microscope, we call it polarizing microscopy, you see fiber of amyloid deposit. Very, very interesting to see, but it's not interesting because of the resultant effect on brain health. So this is what you call a deposit of amyloid, followed by deposit of tau tangles around the brain. I'll be showing you the picture to give you better understanding. Here, this is a normal brain here, healthy brain. Everything is functional. You can see the nerves all well connected. Nothing wrong. These are known as neuron. Okay, that's one. Here, this is abnormal. This is what you see in somebody who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. You can see this is the plaque I'm talking about. All these are plaques, beta amyloid plaque, which is again, if it's not rectified, you can get formation of what you call tau tangles. That's what you can see there. So causing the brain cell to die. I hope you are understanding me. I don't want to make it too technical. But those who, with the picture, I hope it's giving you better understanding about the leading cause of Alzheimer's disease. Here again, you can see the nerve cell aside. This is the nerve, one neuron. And this, now you can see in people who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, you can see here, the brain start to die. All these connected dendrites, they start to shrink. And you know, here you have this extension from the spinal, from the brain to the spinal column. Here you have what you call myelin. It's like myelin acts like a shock absorber for the brain. And part of the composition is omega-3, which I'll be talking about later. So it's a white part of the myelin sheath is part of the white matter, which protect what does it do? It helps to protect the nerve endings from dying. Very, very important. So, but in people who have been diagnosed with this condition, you find it's no longer functioning because of, as you can see, they are shrinking. Now, as a result of shrinkage, you find that the synapse, that's where they join together, connect together to get those neurotransmitters, which is very, very important for brain health, those brain chemicals. But as a result of that, of this dysfunctional nerves or synapse here, you find cellular communicator becomes very, very challenging. And in the brain, this happens because the brain, the network gets knocked out. I hope you're understanding me. And here is the better one to explain this condition known as Alzheimer's disease. This is a picture of normal brain, as you can see there. And that's, again, the hippocampus we're interested in here. But compare this normal area with this one, with Alzheimer's brain. You can see there's alteration because now it's dysfunctional. You can see the ventricles, they become enlarged, and you can see the shrinkage. We call it in medical terms, they call it atrophy. Okay, the cerebral cortex, here covering the brain is beginning to shrink. And again, to give you a better explanation here, you can see the nerve there now, you can get deposit of those amyloid plaques. Very, very important. And here you can see the nerve cells, because of the connection with the blood-brain barrier, now you start to leak. That's why I say leaky brain equals leaky gut. Okay, you can see all this is important. The beta amyloid I was talking about, you can see all this being deposited there. And also you can see here, with this condition, you find the mitochondria does not work anymore. This is the energy production in the brain. They become dysfunctional. This is why people have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They tend to lack energy, because this is very important for brain energy. And again, you see, you get impaired because of lack of oxygen. You get oxidation to the brain. And as a result of that, you find imbalance called homeostasis, affecting the brain health, brain function here. This is exposed when the brain becomes oxidized. So I've already mentioned that the hippocampus is involved in processing memory and storing it. So adult hippocampus, known as neurogenesis, you can see they call it adult hippocampal neurogenesis, is reduced when people have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. I hope you are having better understanding here. So what are the risk factors for this type of condition, which is on the increase worldwide? It's not only in Kenya, it's on the increase globally. What are the risk factors? If somebody is hypertensive, they are prone to develop Alzheimer's disease. If they are diabetic, you know, diabetes, when we're talking about diabetes, this condition is also known, is connected with what is known as type 3 diabetes. So if somebody is diabetic, they are prone to develop Alzheimer's later in life. Obesity is another one. This is why we need to control our weight. It's also a risk factor in the development of Alzheimer's disease. As I mentioned before, exposure to all those neurotoxic metals like lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, that's aluminum, and some pesticide. They are known as, when somebody is exposed to all these heavy metals and pesticide, as mentioned earlier on, they're predisposed to develop Alzheimer's disease. Again, if somebody has had accident with the brain, they are also later predisposed to develop Alzheimer's disease. This is another word which I need you to know. It's known as glycosylation. So when the sugar causes the brain when the protein present gets coated with sugar. This is what happens. They call it the condition is known as glycosylation, and this can affect brain health. And I can see here, and also it's also involved with what you call microvascular disease. This is now involving blood circulation here. So these are somebody who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease can, because of exposure to this sugar coated brain in the blood vessels. Lack of sleep. Nowadays, many people are stressed. It's not only in Kenya, it's a global issue. For so many reasons, they are stressed, known as stress. They can't sleep, and sleep is critical, as you'll be seeing in other slides coming. So lack of sleep, it makes one become predisposed to development of Alzheimer's disease. And again, not exercising. When you exercise, you get increase in oxygen to the brain. So lack of exercise is another risk factor for this condition. Now let's talk about nutrition deficiency, which I've mentioned before. This is a word here, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with from my previous training, known as homocysteine. Homocysteine is responsible for a catalog of chronic diseases. Over 60 different chronic diseases is associated with homocysteine. It's a byproduct of methionine, which is found in animal products. So it's a toxic protein. So increase in the level of homocysteine due to deficiency of the B vitamins can make one predisposed to develop Alzheimer's disease. Again, we are here in Kenya. We have so many people. When we talk about lifestyle, many people, because of so many issues nowadays, they are taking a lot of alcohol. So alcohol, according to research, it's been found that consuming a lot of alcohol can make one predisposed to Alzheimer's disease. Not even to talk about those illicit drugs and too much animal protein combined. Remember, we're a nation of consuming too much yamachoma. Imagine combined with alcohol. No wonder people are sick, with many of them being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Another predisposing factor is isolation, social isolation. Nowadays, it's becoming more and more, many people there. So there's not what you call now, there's an extension in nuclear family. So if somebody is lonely, it can make one, nobody to talk to, it can make one become prone to Alzheimer's disease. So we'll be talking about that. These are the early symptoms of Alzheimer's. I'm going fast because of time. I hope you are following your understanding. Here, with talking about early symptoms of Alzheimer's, if an individual can experience, it's a condition, as if who have been with Alzheimer's. Because of because of Alzheimer's disease, they tend to forget a lot. They forget a lot. They even miss appointments. They forget. They misplace items. They can't find where they put their keys because of this terrible condition or insidious disease. They forget names of places and objects. They have trouble in thinking out the right. It takes them long to talk because of the effect of that part of the brain. And they keep asking the same question repetitively, which is very, very sad. It's not their fault, it's because of this terrible condition. They have poor judgment and find it very, very hard to make any serious decision. And they become less flexible and they're more hesitant. Very, very hesitant when you want to introduce them to new things. So it's a terrible, insidious disease when we're talking about Alzheimer's disease. Very, very bad. Now, let me talk now about this. I want to talk about statistics. It's just to make you understand this condition, how bad it is. As you can see there, every 4 seconds, somebody is being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease globally. This is why I said it's not only in Kenya. In Africa, 1 in 5 people are living with Alzheimer's disease. 1 in 5 in Africa. It's very, very serious. So it's the 4th leading cause of death among older Black African American. So this is there are reasons for this, which I will explain later. It's the 4th leading. Remember, we said it's a type 3 diabetes, and many Black people they are prone to diabetes. So I suppose this may be one of the reasons why it's the 4th leading cause of death among older Black African Americans. So according to the latest prediction, they are saying by the year 20 by the year 20 sorry by the year 2050, you can see that's a mistype, okay, error. A higher incidence of Alzheimer's is being predicted. Can you imagine that? This is why we are talking about this, so you don't become a victim of this condition. In Kenya, just imagine, because when it comes, for me, I believe in diagnosis. Okay, before I start to recommend products, I said, I want to see your medical record so I know what I'm going to recommend or to know what I'm dealing with. Just imagine we are working with this important, the role of neurology is very, very important in this nation. And according to the latest information, you find there are only 24 neurologists in the whole of entire Kenya. So with this increase in incidence of Alzheimer's, it's going to be very, very challenging. I hope some of you have been able to watch the video I sent yesterday to give you better understanding when we are talking about Alzheimer's disease, how serious it is in Kenya, apart from the global impact. You can see this is when we're talking about drug market to treat Alzheimer's disease. You can see statistically, it's a big issue here. You can see the blue area. This shows how serious Alzheimer's disease is. And as I said, among Black African Americans, they are more likely to have conditions that increase the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. You can see there, as already mentioned. Now, let's look at the conventional treatment for Alzheimer's disease. Don't forget conventional treatment, they are treating the symptom instead of the root cause of the problem. And for your information, conventional drugs are the third leading cause of death because of the catalog of side effects. So look at the one that be approved by that's by FDA for Alzheimer's. Look at this. This is one of them, and look at the side effect. It's known now. It's got a catalog of side effects, and this is another one. This is another one. Well, for treating this condition. And the side effects, can you imagine, include brain swelling and bleeding. So I leave that to your judgment here. This is the conventional one. Wait, now let's talk about nutrition here. Let's talk about what can we use to feed the brain for optimal cognitive function. Here, we can see all these food. These are, according to research, these are food essential for the brain health. This is bananas, very, very important because it also contains all the soluble fiber. Very important for those good bacteria we're talking about later. All these are very, very important. You have all these good chickpeas, grain. These are all very, very important for brain health. We are very lucky in Kenya. We are loaded with all these different types of food for brain health, unlike many other countries in Africa. Here, that's another one for brain health. Broccoli, which is my favorite. It contains a lot of brain chemicals for cognitive function. Here we have also, you can see avocado there as well. You can see turmeric, which is the king of spice or king of spice. That's turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory. Don't forget, we are talking about brain health. Also, inflammation has got a huge part to play. When the brain is inflamed, it can result to dysfunctional, it can result to the dysfunctional brain function. So you can see here, another one, we said, you can see these are full of what you call antioxidants. Sweet potatoes, we're so fortunate here. These are all essential food for the brain, contain a lot of important macronutrients. As I said, the turmeric is the king of spices, contains a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, contains what we call polyphenols. It's also antimicrobial, which is very important when we're talking about prevention of that, prevent the position of beta amyloid, that plaque. Ginger is also known to have similar effect for brain. I hope you are following me. Now, let's talk about products. I hope you're all still awake. Now, before, I hope many of you have already had your aloe vera today. I've had mine. I normally have my aloe berry nectar in the morning. Then later, I'm going to have my aloe vera gel. So that's my lifestyle, and I love it. I've been taking it since 1996. So I hope many of you are taking this product, especially if you're in the business. You have to be a product of the products. Very, very important. That's going to help your business to move. People can tell whether you're using the products or not, because they are full of essential ingredients, especially when we're talking about brain health. Here we talk, I'm not going to dwell so much because many of you are familiar with the products. And again, I must thank the lady who did the presentation last week, because she already, it's as if she knew what I was going to present today. Okay. I can't remember her name. Okay. Grace, that's her name. Her name is Grace. I'm watching the time. So her name is Grace. She really helped me a lot because she spoke a lot about these products I'm going to be talking about. So now our aloe is known as miracle plant. Miracle containing all the essential nutrients, which is anti-inflammatory. What does that mean? It's antibacterial, antifungal, and also, apart from antibacterial, antifungal, it also contains a lot of essential nutrients. That's we're talking about the minerals, the vitamins, and the protein. Very, very important for brain health. So this is what we normally recommend, and this is the first one. This is the emblem of the company, that's aloe vera gel. So all these are very important to nurture the gut, which is very important. Remember, when your digestive system is working optimally, it's going to have a good direct impact on cognitive function. So it's very important to nurture the gut to unlock your brain, to unlock the brain's potential. Very, very important. Food supplement by Forever Living Products. So when you drink this on daily basis, what happens to the digestive system? So it's very important working from the mouth to the anus. So you can see when you take the aloe every day, you can start this from the gut all the way. That's the esophageal tract. You can see all the way now nourishing every part, especially the digestive system. Here you have the big intestine, you have the small intestine. It's called ileum. So very, very important. And within that, inside that, you have all this we call a microvilli, just like finger-like projections, this is very, very important for absorption. For people, because of exposure to toxin, for all these areas, they are clogged with toxins. This is why it is important to be taking the aloe. Aloe can help to detox this area and give you maximum absorption, which is very, very important because it's going to help you to benefit on other products in Forever Living Products. So as I always say, if you cannot afford any other products, as long as you're taking the aloe, you're okay, because of the important micronutrients within the aloe vera. It contains prebiotic, which is very important fuel for the probiotic. So as you can see there, it's known to contain over 75 active compounds. Very, very important for digestive and brain health. Here, apart from the aloe, which I don't want to dwell on, because if you attended that training by Grace last week, you will have better understanding about the beneficial effect of the aloe vera containing prebiotic. Very important. Everybody should be taking it. Now, the next one, which is important for brain health, is known as our Forever Active Pro B, which Grace also spoke about last week. It contains 6 beneficial bacteria, and it works together with the prebiotic in the aloe. So because without the prebiotic, those important bacteria in the digestive system will die. The probiotic will not work. So it's a fertilizer. The one inside the aloe vera gel, that's the prebiotic, is a fertilizer for the probiotic, enable it to work maximally. So you can see it promotes healthy digestion and enhancing nutrient absorption, and it's very, very important for immune health, which is also relevant to brain health. Don't forget, in your digestive system, you have 70% to 80% immune cells present in the digestive system. So this will help to nourish those immune cells. Very, very important. In addition to that, they add to the population of those bacteria and to the microbiome producing vitamin K, producing the B vitamins. Very, very important. So they work together for optimum brain health. So that's our Forever Pro B. For people who are not symptomatic, you just take one on daily basis. Very, very important for digestive. I can tell you, I have a very fantastic testimony personally. Because as you're getting older, the digestion can become sluggish, and this can have a terrible or direct impact on brain health. So by taking one every morning together with the aloe or with water, it's going to help to give a smooth running bowel. Very, very important. That's our Forever Active Pro B. And you can see it helps to reset the population of those good bacteria, especially if you've been on antibiotics. You know, antibiotics be associated with leaky gut syndrome. So if anybody is on antibiotics, after the course of antibiotics, in order to replace the population of good bacteria, it is important they use our Forever Active Pro B. So you can see, you can read for yourself. It contains zinc, which contributes to cognitive function. Very important, because you can see the brain process is process related to thinking, knowledge, and information. So this is very, very important for brain health. That's our Forever Active Pro B. I must move on. And the next product, apart from the aloe vera gel, I mentioned, apart from the Pro B, now the next one, which is important for cognitive function, is known as our immublend. As you can see, the immublend is contains vitamin C, which is a super antioxidant, contains vitamin D3, not D2. D3 is an active form of vitamin D2. So very, very important. Forever, we should always clap for Forever. They've done well doing all the research. And for your information, before any products are available for us to buy at the center, then Forever, they do a lot of research. Some of the research they do may even take up to 3 years of research because they don't want to produce rubbish products. They want to produce the best nutrients. Very, very important. That's Forever for you. They're just amazing. They're amazing in terms of research, scientifically researched nutrients. And now you can see they also contain zinc. In addition to zinc, it contains mushrooms, which are very important for immunity. Maitake mushroom, shiitake mushroom. According to research, these are very important for boosting the immune system, which is also related to cognitive function. As you can see there, they also contain what you call fructooligosaccharides. What does it mean? What does it do? It helps to promote healthy level of probiotic in the digestive system. This one, another one helps to support immune cells and to maintain optimal level of beneficial bacteria in the intestine. Very, very important because of that connection through the brain-gut axis for the health of the brain. The maitake and shiitake mushroom is very, very important when it comes to supporting immune function, immune cells. And vitamin D3 helps to strengthen immune cells, in addition to helping to make sure the brain does not become inflamed, and also helps in a way indirectly boosting cognitive function. As you can see, the vitamin C component, as I said before, helps to fight free radicals to prevent oxidation of the brain cells. And the zinc there is also very important to fight free radicals, which is we're talking about, which can cause Alzheimer's disease due to free radical damage, and also help to support immune function. And this we at the moment we do not have the we don't have the immublend at the center, but I've been promised that we'll be getting them within the next very soon, I should say. All right. And again, I forgot to mention for cognitive function or for general wellness, you only need to take 1 tablet twice a day, 1 times 2. Very, very important for cognitive function. Here, unfortunately, we have not had this one in Kenya yet. And I hope before long, we'll be able to get this important micronutrients in Kenya. It's known as Forever Focus. Because of requests from my patients, I've been importing them from other countries. And it's very, very critical for cognitive function. And I've been having a lot of positive testimonies when people have been taking this important Forever Focus. I put it there because I know quite a few number of people are listening to me from other parts of the world. So for those who are listening to me, you are lucky to have it in your country. So I'm saying here, Forever Focus is very, very important for Alzheimer's disease, or in order to make sure we don't become a victim of Alzheimer's disease. Why? Because of the component. You can see all these important ingredients. And you can see it contains what you call specialized, we call it cognisin, which is a clinically studied form of acetylcholine. And according to research, acetylcholine is very, very important for cognitive function. And again, it's very important. Why? Because it maintains mental clarity. It's very important because it's very good for organized thought and helps with when we're talking about concentration. I would just say it's a fantastic food supplement. I'm taking it myself, and I know what it's doing to my brain health. So, and you can see it's very important for brain energy. So it helps when we're talking about mitochondria, because part of it also, apart from the mitochondrial support for energy, is also, you can see they contain what you call ginkgo. We used to have ginkgo in our products before, but now it's combined through scientific research by Forever. They are combined ginkgo plus or ginkgo biloba. It's a good one because it contains 24% milligram of ginkgo. So it's very important for oxygenation. It increases oxygen to the brain, and in general, it's good to make sure your brain is functioning optimally. So it helps. You can see it helps to repair those things, DNA synthesis, and very important when it comes to about neuroplasticity. Plasticity. And again, part of the ingredient is what it's called is you can see the bacoba, which is extract. That's extract from the herb used in traditional Ayurvedic medicine. So this is very popular nowadays, and again, it's known as adaptogenic tonic for promoting memory attention. And these are all the ingredients, very important ingredients in our Forever Focus. You can see there, that's another one from plant extract, which is helping to optimize cognitive function. And here, additionally contains that, remember I was talking about homocysteine, which can affect brain function. Here, within the component of Forever Focus, they've added vitamin B12 and also vitamin B6, which is very important for when we're talking about the ability of the brain to divide. Additionally, it helps when we're talking about making sure that you don't get tired or suffer from chronic fatigue, because vitamin B6 is very important to increase the population of mitochondria. So I hope you are following me. I hope you are there. Okay, other benefits of Forever Focus is Emmanuel, this is very important food supplement. We really need it in Kenya. I hope you'll be able to work in time to help us to get into this country. And so they are saying it's not cheap. At the same time, it's not expensive, because when we're talking about health, they say health is wealth. So it is not expensive because of all the testimonies I'm getting on this special supplement for Forever. So you can see part of the benefits here. You can see the brain, as I said before, the brain makes up 2% of your body weight. And you can see it uses 20% of it, of energy, 20%. So when we are talking about acetylcholine, which is part of the part of the ingredients in Forever Focus, acetylcholine helps to increase mitochondrial activity by 14%. This was a research which was done at the University College in London. So when we're talking about brain energy, to make sure you don't suffer from chronic fatigue, so acetylcholine component of the Forever Focus is very, very important. So this is the latest one actually today, which came out today from India by Dr. Arun, where he's telling about the importance of acetylcholine. This Dr. Arun is a top surgeon in India, where he highlighted that the importance for brain health in order so they don't become a victim of Alzheimer's disease, saying that it is important to be taking supplements containing acetylcholine, showing the importance of our Forever Focus. Here, how long does it take to work? According to information, because our product doesn't work within a week or two, they are not drugs. We can give a catalog of side effects. You may start to feel the effect after 6 weeks. Don't forget, we're also biochemically different. Some people within shorter time be able to see a lot of beneficial effect. Again, it depends on how toxic your system is. If you're clean, the beneficial effect will take effect quickly. So this Forever Focus is not to be taken by children below the age of 18 and not to be consumed by pregnant or lactating women. And you only need 4 capsules a day, which is what I take. I take in the morning, not at night, because at night, remember, it contains part of energy, the CoQ10 and all that. So it is important not to take it at nighttime, because it may not allow you to sleep properly. And you need to sleep. I will talk about the importance of sleep later. So you take 4 capsules with a meal. I take it in the morning. Not to be taken before bedtime. Already mentioned that. So let's move on. Another one which we do not have in Kenya, I really wish we have it. We desperately need this product in Kenya. Emmanuel, instead of me importing from other countries, because I'm getting a lot of requests from my patients here. So here we have what you call IG+. IG+ is a very important food supplement from Forever, Why? Because it contains the protein L-arginine. And this is very, very important source of nitric oxide. And again, it combines with the vitamin complex. As you can see, all of the essential vitamins, these are all antioxidant combined. So that's our Forever Algae Plus. It's very, very important to nourish the organs and trust. It's very important when you're talking about transportation of nutrients for brain health, from the digestive system to the brain through the brain-gut axis. And it's also, what does this do? It helps to increase the amount of oxygen, which is important for brain health. And it helps to eliminate waste products, especially lactic acid. So that's the beneficial effect of this amazing supplement for cognitive health. You can see there all what it does. You can see all the benefits. It's anti-aging, contains anti-aging hormones. You can see it's known as miracle molecule. And there was a lot of research done by three medical doctors that won the Nobel Prize in 1998 for bringing, when we're talking about nitric oxide. So here in Forever, we have it as Forever Algae Plus. You can see it's a miracle molecule which is converted to nitric oxide. Very important. You can see all the beneficial effects. I'm moving on. And what are the vitamins within this Algae Plus? It contains another antioxidant, which is vitamin C, which is important for nervous system. It helps you for concentration. Also is very important for for general wellness. So, and here it contains vitamin K2, which is also very important for bone health, apart from brain health. So what does it do? It helps to direct calcium straight to the bones. That's in addition to the work of Fields of Greens. So that's the importance of vitamin K2 here. So here we have vitamin B6, like we've already seen in other supplements. So this is vitamin B6 component is very important for that neurotransmitter, which is dopamine. And it's very important for immune system. You can see all the importance of why it is important to have this Algae Plus for brain health. Also, you can see contain vitamin D3, also very important for brain health. Vitamin B9, all the B vitamins, you can see, very important for the neurogenesis. That's the formation of new brain cells. And here we have vitamin B12 there, very important for nervous system and brain health. Again, it's part of the micronutrients when we're talking about oxygen transportation to the brain. So another product here. So as for the Algae Plus, there are 30 sachets in a packet, the big packet. So you take one and you dilute it in 300 mils of good water. Not polluted water, good water. When you mix it, it should be pink. And you drink it slowly during daytime. Don't take it at nighttime because it exhibits a lot of energy and it does disturb you from sleeping. So it's very good for energizing, for oxygen flow. I've already said, I've mentioned that. I don't want to repeat here, but Algae Plus is an amazing product. I take one myself personally because it's also anti-aging every day. So here we have, that's another thing. It's one of the Algae Plus, one of those one which is being recognized by the Anti-Doping Agency of United Kingdom, especially for people in field events, because it's very good for performance. When we're talking about brain health, it increases oxygen flow to the brain. That's why it's recommended to increase performance. So here, another product we have is our Forever Omega-3, that's Arctic Omega-3 fish oil. You remember the brain composition is 60% fat. So this is a part of the fat component. And our Forever Omega-3 fish oil is not from a polluted water or sea. Because nowadays you have to be careful where the source of the products you're taking. Some of them, they are very toxic, they contain a lot of heavy metals, as I already mentioned. So here our Forever, which you call essential fatty acid, because your body cannot make it. You can only get it by eating this type of fish, that's salmon, cod, mackerel, all those oily fish. And you can see there it contains omega-3 and omega-9. So part of the component of the omega-3 for brain health is EPA and DHA. We are now when talking about brain health. The EPA component is very, very important for cognitive function. And Forever has made a decision a few years ago to increase the amount of DHA by 25%. Here, now, why do we add omega-9, which is oleic acid? It's very, very important because it's also beneficial for the brain. So as you can see there, the omega-3 fish oil is very important to actually make sure the brain does not get inflamed. So it's anti-inflammatory. It's also very important for it's also very important because as I said, it's part of that fat component in the brain. So for cognitive function, as you can see, it helps to make sure that we don't get accumulation of bad cholesterol, especially the triglycerides. And as you can see, that's the component, which is when I compare with other omega-3 on the market, this is ours is the best, like you can see there. So you only need 3 capsules twice a day. They are very small, a total of 6 capsules a day. You take it before food or immediately after food because of the oil components for maximum absorption. Very, very important. I don't want to talk too much about it because Grace did a justice to it last week. That's our Forever Omega-3 fish oil for brain health, for cognitive function. And this is the doctor behind it. This is our special doctor who actually did a lot of research, Dr. Dimberg, on our omega-3 to make sure it's the best one on the market for forever. So that's the omega-3 for cognitive function. Here we have a garlic thyme. This is also, remember, part of issues with brain is inflammation. So the omega-3, as I said, is anti-inflammatory. Also, the garlic thyme is anti-inflammatory. So the garlic, with the forever, we combine garlic with thyme together. So it's in a capsule, so it does not release until it gets to the right place in the digestive system. And it's in capsule, so we don't smell. So some people say they're eating that fresh garlic. Well, let me tell you, if you're going to eat fresh garlic, you will not only smell, which is going to be equivalent to 1 capsule from forever. You will not only smell, you will stink. So forever has done its research by making sure that this garlic is in the capsule. So as you can see, so in a way, it's odorless, and it contains that most potent antioxidant called allicin, which is also antibacterial to prevent inflammation of the brain. So garlic thyme is very important when we're talking about cholesterol. There's good cholesterol, there's bad one. We need cholesterol, the good one for the membrane. That's the cell membrane, very, very important. But the bad ones is what you don't want, because the bad ones can cause increase in blood pressure, which can indirectly affect the brain health. So it's very rich in what you call acetylcysteine, which is a special antioxidant. It's also anti-inflammatory. I hope you are following me. You are following. Another one here for brain health is already spoken about some of the products containing vitamin B12. But here we have vitamin B12 plus. So it's not just vitamin B12, it contains folate, which is vitamin B9. You can see all the beneficial effect there. So you can see the mitochondria depends on the B vitamins, and the folic acid, which is vitamin B9, is very important for digestive health, for the repair, especially when we're talking about leaky gut. Very, very important. So you can see there, you can also get them in food. And so all the food containing the B vitamins. But again, because we are not sure about the source of the food we are taking nowadays, some of them full of toxin and all that. So this is why we recommend you supplement to bridge the gap in what may be missing, instead of taking some of this toxic food we are consuming nowadays. Very, very important. That's our vitamin B12 plus. You can read for yourself all the benefits and moving on. So another one here, the brain survives on the omega-3 fish oil, and also it survives on minerals. The minerals, because the brain works like for information, for memory transmission. The brain is like a computer. When you look inside the computer, you see all these wires. All these wires, they're like the nerves I showed you earlier on. So all these wires, they need a lot of nutrients, called neurotransmitters, to work. They work so they don't have dysfunctional brain. So we're working together with these micronutrients, which is our Forever Nature Meal, combined with omega-3 for optimal cognitive function. So you can see here, our Forever Nature Mint is very, very important because it contains multi-minerals using new bioavailable form of minerals for maximum absorption. So it's a special type of minerals. That's a Forever Nature Mint. You can see all the ingredients, very, very important for brain health. And with this or Nature Mint, you only have to take 3 tablets twice a day, total of 6 for. Also, in addition to brain health, these are also important for general wellness. So I will have to remind you of that. That's our Forever Nature Mint. Then again, you have a choice here. If you don't want to take Nature Mint, you can take Forever Daily. And for me, I prefer Forever Daily because because I only have to take 1 tablet twice a day. With Nature Mint, this is my own personal experience because I use a lot of this product. I use many products every day. So the Forever Nature Mint, you have to take a total of 6. The Forever Daily, you only need 1 tablet twice a day. And if you look at all the benefits in Forever Daily, contains CoQ10, which is very important as for mitochondria, which is the energy part of the cell. So that's CoQ10 enzyme for cognitive function to make sure you don't become fatigued. Contains quercetin, which is also very important micronutrient. And that's another antioxidant there. You guys, everything by Forever Living products is all natural. It's coated for making sure you get maximum absorption. It's coated with aloe vera. That's our Forever Daily. There you can see all the products here, all the micronutrients contain that special antioxidant, which is vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin A. What do you want? Forever has done it for you. You don't need to look anywhere else. We've got the best products on the market. So that's now, as I'm moving on, I'm about to finish. Here we have our Forever Lycium Plus. Lycium Plus, we call it Lycium because we've added Forever through it is a research. I've added licorice. That's why it's Lycium Plus. So the licorice helps to make it to enhance the work of the lycium. And why am I talking about lycium? Because it's antiviral, it's anti-inflammatory. Remember, inflammation is responsible also for dysfunctional brain. You can also see the benefit. It helps to protect microglia from oxidative damage. So microglia, they're like I would say they're very important in the brain. Similar to another, I don't want to be too technical here. What the microglia, they gobble up any toxins in the brain. If there's anything that you should not be in the brain, they gobble them up. That's what they do to make sure the brain does not get dysfunctional. So that's a microglia. So Lycium Plus helps to protect these specialized cells. They're like macrophages. It helps to protect them from oxidative damage. Very, very important. I hope you understand that. So these are the importance of our Lycium Plus. You can see it's an excellent detoxifier and also helps to enhance blood nitric oxide. Very important. Again, helps by improving bioavailability and absorption of all these essential nutrients to the body. You can see that it also contains, like the Forever Daily contains quercetin, which is a special antioxidant. It's called bioflavonoid, found the highest amount. You can find it in red wine, all those berries, especially again in Forever Algae Plus. So some of you may be wondering, this is very important information here. Some of you, maybe you'll be reading books, you'll be saying, okay, if somebody is hypertensive, they are not allowed to take Lycium Plus. Forever has done its research. They have removed part of that, the one that can increase blood pressure. They have removed it from the licorice. So our type of Lycium Plus, you can see that what they are putting in red, is they have removed that glycyrrhizin. So the one in Forever product is known as deglycyrrhizinated licorice. So anybody, if somebody is hypertensive, they don't need to worry, they can take it. What do I do? For me personally, I take 3 tablets every day because it's also, apart from brain health, It's also good for the skin. So it's anti-aging. It's got so many other benefits. Let me move on. So here we have another one called Forever Fields of Greens. It's known as the green superfood for healthy lifestyle. Why do I include this? Because very rich in antioxidant to protect any toxin. It's a good detoxifier. It helps because to help to detoxify the digestive system, and it makes sure that the body does not become acidic. It relieves constipation from the digestive system. So, which I said is very important when you're talking about brain health. It helps to balance the blood sugar level, the glucose level, so we don't develop type 3 diabetes. It helps, liver is also very important, and it helps, you can see, to improve good circulation, because you need good circulatory system in order to get the blood flowing to the brain through that brain-blood barrier. And it contains a lot of micronutrients, phytonutrients, as you can see, plant-based nutrients, called it phytonutrients, like chlorophyll, flavonoids, carotenoids, all essential in the management of oxidative stress. So this is our Forever Hills of Greens, and you only have to take 2 tablets a day. So it contains wheatgrass. You can see barley grass, alfalfa. So with alfalfa, where you see alfalfa growing, is very, it's very unassuming. But deep down, about 40 feet deep down, it contains a lot of nutrients. That's alfalfa. So Forever has put it there also with all these ingredients. So now let's talk about other things which are also important for brain health. Here it's important, as I said, about the digestive system, the connection of the digestive system with the brain through the brain-gut axis. So for brain health, we need to do something to remove, to repair, and replace and reset the gut. This is what Grace mentioned last week, so I'm not going to dwell on it. In Forever, I've included because it's very important for brain health, and when we're talking about detoxification. As you can see, there are toxins are the enemy of brain health. So this, our Forever 9 days program of C9 is very important when we're talking about keeping the brain healthy, so we don't become a victim of Alzheimer's disease. So she went through it last week, so I'm not going to dwell on it. So I just included it. If anybody wants good brain health, please make sure you use our Forever C9 when we're talking about detoxification. So here we have a Forever Light Ultra, which is also part of the products in our Forever C9. Why do I put there? You can see when we're talking about the importance of protein, good protein for brain health. So I'm saying here, our Forever Light Ultra, which we have the vanilla type here, it contains 24 grams of protein per serving. And for an adult, per meal, you only need between 25 to 30 grams of protein per serving. Now, just taking 1 scoop of this per serving, you've already look at already you've done. It's very, very important because of this amount of protein there. And the protein it contains is a plant protein. So you don't always have to eat meat all the time. Meat is acidic and it's toxic to the brain. So it's not always meat. You remember, vegetarians, they live longer than us. So here I'm talking about plant-based protein, which is non-GMO soya-based protein. Here contain a lot of nutrients, according to the research done by Forever. You can see all the important nutrients combined. So you just need 1 scoop of this. What I normally do personally, I put I use the sachet of Algae Plus. I put in 300 ml of water. Then I put 1 scoop of this. Or sometimes, if it's too sweet, I dilute the Algae Plus in 750 ml of water. Then I put 1 scoop of this. And then I put baby spinach. This is my smoothie in the morning. Okay, which is important for the digestive health, also for brain health. That's what I do, and it fills me up for a long time. So it's a good one for anybody thinking of getting good protein for brain health. So as I said, that's the amount of protein there. That's the amount that we need for each adult per meal. So Forever has done its own part by putting 24 grams in this 1 scoop. So that's our Forever. Now let's talk about prevention. Now, for brain health, if you don't want to be a victim of Alzheimer's disease or if you want of general wellness, we always say don't eat crap. Crab means carbonated drinks. Carbonated drinks, they're poisonous. Especially people due to people are going through menopause, not allowed, because those carbonated drinks, I don't mention company's name, carbonated drinks or fizzy drinks, they have affinity for calcium because they contain phosphorus. So it's full of sugar. Too much sugar is not good for the brain. So, and again, try to reduce, refined sugar. That's R. Avoid this, part of ultra-processed food, all this packet, anything in packets, avoid it. Our great-grandfather never used to, they never used to consume anything in packets. So try to avoid anything. They're not natural. They're not good for brain health. Artificial food, avoid it. You want to have good brain health. All this processed food, this is what many people are consuming nowadays. Maybe just occasionally, but they are not good because they contain a lot of trans fat, which can increase those bad cholesterol, which is not good for brain health. Again, water is very, very important. Water is essential. I always say when you're hungry, because the brain is so stupid, it cannot differentiate between thirst and hunger. Take water first. Very, very important, especially when they're getting older a bit. You find that they have smaller food reserve, and they have weakened wicked sense of thirst. So it's very important to stay well hydrated, to slow down the aging process. In other words, you're talking about cognitive function here. And again, Alzheimer's is very common among the old people, although it's on the increase among the younger ones nowadays, according to research. So here, I'm emphasizing for people over the age of 40, 70 upwards. So in order to not to become a victim of Alzheimer's, it's important to make sure you don't get thirsty. Grace mentioned it last week. By the time you're feeling thirsty, it's too late. So always try to rehydrate your brain. Take enough water. We recommend about 2 to 3 liters on daily basis nowadays. It's very, very important for brain health. Again, let me move. So here, that's about water. And here, let's talk about prevention quickly for cognitive function. You can see the best prevention starts with a healthy diet and your lifestyle. So when you're talking about brain health, your brain future is on your plate. What are you eating? Are you eating just to make sure? First of all, you must, when you're getting to certain age, you don't eat as if there's no tomorrow, because it's going to make you put on weight. Additionally, don't eat garbage. No, whatever you're eating, maybe when you see your food, so look before you start eating, you just, it's like a rainbow color, full of antioxidants, full of all those pili oil, bell peppers, different colors. No, sweet potatoes for fiber, which is important for the digestive system, for those good beneficial bacteria to continue with their good work, with the production of butyrate and vitamin K and B12. Very important for cognitive function. And also here, you can see eat a rich nutrient. Maybe we're talking here about fruits. And we are so blessed in this nation with so many types of fruit full of antioxidants contain soluble and insoluble fiber for your digestive health. Vegetables, because we know that those vegetables are loaded with a lot of nutrients, a lot of fiber, helping to nourish those good bacteria in your digestive system. And again, they contain quercetin, as already mentioned, especially broccoli, which is my favorite veg, very important for digestive system, which has a direct impact on brain health. This is all the things we are recommending, especially red onions. Red onions contains what we call quercetin, which is very important antioxidant for those good bacteria. And like you can see here, they protect those called macroglia, which I said they gobble up. They're known as macrophage for the brain. They gobble up any toxic substance to prevent damage to the brain. And it's important you take whole grains, because whole grains food, not just white bread and all that, white rice. Oh my goodness. All grain, very important. They are known to contain a lot of vitamins, chromium, to make sure to balance your blood sugar so you don't become a victim of diabetes, which can eventually lead to type 3 diabetes leading to Alzheimer's disease. So as you can see, their lean meat is very important. Fish, making sure it's not from those polluted area. Again, when we're talking about fish, there are some farmers as well they are called fish farm. Again, some of them they are not ethical. and they put a lot of toxin in the food for the fish so that they can grow big. I know I'm talking from evidence-based research here. So they know that the female fish, they eat a lot, therefore they decrease the population of female fish. So to increase the population of male fish because of profit, they feed them with growth hormones, which can be the hormone endocrine disruptor, which is not good for the brain, affecting those what are dopamine and serotonin, which is important micronutrient for brain health, for neurotransmitters, as already mentioned before. So very important here. We recommend Mediterranean diet. I will show you the picture later. Grace mentioned this last week. Fermented food is very important for the digestive system. Avoid consumption of alcohol. And again, I've already mentioned about all this ultra-processed food because it can cause oxidative stress in those myelin sheaths for the brain, preventing nerve conduction. Nourish the brain with the right supplements. We are talking here that vitamin deficiency, particularly vitamin K, vitamin D, vitamin B9, and vitamin B12, they've been associated with impaired cognitive function and memory loss, according to the research which was done in Chicago. They call it Chicago Agent Project. And this is another one here. According to research, that's the say for better sleep. I said this also, sleep is very, very important because when you sleep, it's when your brain is able to regenerate. That's neuroplasticity. It's able to regenerate. And so sleep is very important, which is we are talking about 7 to 8 hours. Many people nowadays, they don't sleep. This is why they're in trouble. So the key to better sleep is in the gut. According to the gastroenterologist, this one came out a few days ago. Okay, this is a gastroenterologist association, emphasizing on the importance of sleep for cognitive function. So you can see there, it's also important to I mentioned about staying socially active. Loneliness is not good because that means your brain is not able to communicate. You don't have people to talk to. So face-to-face conversation help to release oxytocin, which is a chemical brain messenger. Very important. It's not only for labor, it's also important chemical brain messenger. That's oxytocin. And that's the hormone, brain hormone. Here, we're now talking about the importance of exercise. When you exercise, especially aerobic exercise, this is very, very important. It helps those microglia. Please stop drawing on my presentation. I'm about to finish. You must be very sad. Okay, exercise, it helps those microglia, which are said that they are like macrophages to gobble up any toxic substances. Exercise helps them to clear any misfolded protein out of the brain, like we're talking about those beta amyloid. So that's the importance of exercise to prevent all those deposition of those toxic protein. This research was done in Texas by Texas Christian University. And again, very important to walk. Walking is not expensive. You don't have to go to the gym. Just walk 30 minutes a day, even an hour. I do about 45 minutes on a daily basis with my two dogs. Unfortunately, one of them passed away last year. So the dogs, they really help me in terms of exercise. We go for a walk. Why? Exercise is very important for brain health. Again, you can see, according to research, it increases creative thinking by up to 60%. I've already mentioned about aerobic exercise, increases that area of the brain. That's hippocampal volume. It increases by 2%. Can you imagine that the importance of exercise? I cannot overemphasize on the importance of exercise. It's good for general wellness, especially when talking about brain health. So now this is very important. Address any chronic health condition such as high blood pressure, your high blood sugar, high cholesterol. It's very important to address those chronic health conditions properly. For me, as a complementary practitioner, I believe there's a place for conventional medication for acute management, but not for chronic management because of those side effects I've already mentioned. Here, Yeah. So now another one is to manage stress. Remember, so many people are stressed nowadays. You can see when they are stressed, stress is not going to contribute to development of Alzheimer's disease. And again, it is very important to make use of that brain for neurogenesis. Okay, formation of new brain cells by reading. I remember my sponsor who lives in UK. She's age 86. Age 86, she reads a lot. And again, she's even learning Spanish to make sure she's cognitively okay. So her name is Begita. She does that learning Spanish, age 86. She's very good with that. She's doing a massive business in forever. So she reads a lot, and also she goes for exercise with her husband. Okay, it's important because it's important to learn something new. This was mentioned by Dr. Was mentioned last week also by Grace. Okay, and also Dr. Subra mentioned about the importance of brain health. She mentioned about puzzle, doing puzzle and brain crosswords, very, very important for brain health. The same research was done at King's College, where I used to work before, King's College Hospital in London. Okay, here, this is also, I was talking about the importance of sleep. It is important to maintain healthy. Now, when you sleep, it's very important for those areas of the brain cells, you call the synapse. Remember that picture? The junction. It helps to maintain healthy synapses that link neurons, that links the nerve cells together, well, causing short-term memory loss. Very, very important. Additionally, you find those microglia, which I said is like a macrophage, they change their function due to lack of sleep. So sleep is I cannot overemphasize on the importance of sleep. So make sure you sleep properly, good sleep, good rest. For that's when the digestive system is able to rest, and also the brain cell is able now to detox. So I hope you all understanding me. And now, if you watch that video which I sent earlier on, I think yesterday, and this is from Kenya. The doctor talking about brain health. She mentioned about early screening, screening for brain health, because there's many people who are having issues with Alzheimer's disease in Kenya. So they have started a institute called Brain and Mind Institute in Kenya. It's still at its early days. So they are now planning to do early screening for brain screening for early development in order to reduce the incidence of Alzheimer's in this nation. It's still at the virgin or early stage, but I think they need a bit of finance there. There's a good news as sleep is moving forward. In many countries, they've already established doing screening with different methods. Yeah, I forgot the name because I'm thinking quickly, for screening for brain health. Very important for detecting brain issues. Here, okay, this is another thing for brain health. Here you can see this latest research, artificial intelligence is also known to help for cognitive function and virtual reality. These are known. This artificial intelligence and virtual reality is known, according to the latest information, to enhance neuroplasticity. That's enabling the brain cells to divide. Very important to support. They have to support brain to rewire, and at the end of the day, improving cognitive function. That's according to the latest research. Now, in terms of food, you can see here, it's very important to nurture the brain. These are the food we are recommending nowadays. We call it Mediterranean diet to reduce brain inflammation and oxidative stress. You know, when you're talking about oxidation, it's where it's like exposing metal to air, becomes rusty, causing damage. So oxidation is a process which can affect the brain, as we're talking about Alzheimer's disease. So these are the food we are recommending to people to make sure they don't become a victim of Alzheimer's disease. I mentioned about exercise before. This is me. And then although with this exercise, apart from brain health, it was helping me when it's very important for what you call sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is when you call muscle wasting due to aging process. So this is the exercise I was doing at the gym. You can see that. And apart from going for a walk, so I do a combination of different exercise. That was me. So you don't have to go to the gym. You can do a lot of exercise. So you don't have any excuse that you don't have to go for the gym. I'm just emphasizing the importance of exercise for brain health. And I know that Emmanuel, he agrees with me because he's a guru when he's talking about exercise. Here, this is the guy also running is very important. Anything to do with aerobic exercise, important for cognitive function. How can we help? I'm about to finish. How can we help Alzheimer's patients? It's very important to be patient with these people. We should try not to show any form of frustration, especially we're talking about caregivers. You need patience with somebody who's been diagnosed with this condition. It's not pleasant because I have seen so many people who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. It is not pleasant at all. Especially where, as I said before, they can't recognize their families. It is very frustrating. And in an environment in Africa, they think it's a social stigma. So some of the families who are having somebody who's been diagnosed with this condition, they try to shut them away from the rest of the family, which is very sad. So you need, as a caregiver, very important not to show any form of frustration. You need to be patient with them, avoid arguing with them, and you need to reassure that you need to reassure those people who have been diagnosed with Alzheimer's that you are there to help them. You should learn how to communicate with this type of people and redirect their attention to new objects or activities, such as listening to the music, reading books, or going for a walk. Very, very important information for caregivers. So as you can see, I said you should take as a complementary practitioner, I said you should take your medication. I'm not against medication, especially for acute management. So again, if what we're saying, we should be aware of because of the side effects. You take it regularly, but beware of the side effects, especially this is the one now they recommended for the treatment of statin. I'm talking too much. In the treatment for Alzheimer's disease, or this is what they use in the treatment of cholesterol. The bad cholesterol. Statin is very popular. There are many of them, which is a family of statin. Crestor, so many of them. So statin is known to actually to reduce the number of CoQ10 enzyme, which, as I said before, CoQ10 enzyme is very, very important for the function of mitochondria, the energy part of the cell. So the CoQ10 is vital, as you can see, for energy production and to prevent oxidative damage to the brain. So the statin is known to actually cause a significant damage. So studies suggest that statin may impair memory and interfere with brain cell development and increasing oxidative stress by lowering the amount of CoQ10 levels. They may also hinder cholesterol. We need, as I said, we need cholesterol. Cholesterol is very important for cell membrane. It's important for your hormones. As you can see, their statin may hinder cholesterol, critical for nerve cells, for nerve function, and also the myelin, the one they coating the nerve cell, the myelin. So you can see statin for acute management, but not for long term. So you can see all the food I'm also reminding you here. And you can see all these things which can affect brain health. You should avoid all this trans fat. All these, as I said before, I'm repeating as I'm about to conclude. Forget all these things. They may taste nice, but they are deadly. They can increase, it can become diabetic and then become later diabetes type 3, which is related to Alzheimer's disease. Excess iron is not good for the brain. Copper is not good for the brain. Cooking with aluminum superia or aluminum cooking pot is not recommended, as I've told you about the position of those sunlight on the brain. So, and now cheap can be expensive. I know many people, they are cooking with aluminum pots in this nation because it's cheap. Just remember, cheap can be expensive. Just imagine, if you don't want to become a victim of Alzheimer's disease, remove anything aluminum superia in your household. Not recommended. Here, the good part here, for good brain health, you need all these antioxidants, all these food you need, as I already mentioned, as I'm concluding. The B12, and for extra power exercise, as already mentioned, aerobic exercise, and for intellectual stimulation, you need to read and you need to have good sleep. So word of advice, as I'm concluding here, with our natural products, our natural scientifically researched products, by forever living products. We should not expect quick miracles. They are not quick fixes. They take some time to assimilate into the system. So it is very, very important to be patient. As according to information or the experience of testimony I'm getting from some of the people I've been looking after, you should start to experience any form of some form of benefits within 3 months. Not 2 weeks, within 3 months. So it's important to exercise patience. So thank you very much for your time. Those are still on the platform today. In Kiswahili, we say asanteni sana. In English, we say thank you very much for being a good audience. I hope you'll be able to help me with this information gathered today to help me to create a healthier nation and to help when we're talking about Alzheimer's to make sure we don't have many, many people being victims of Alzheimer's disease. Thank you again, once again. Thank you very much. And if there's anybody left on the platform, you are more than welcome. This is time for any question. If you have any questions left, please feel free. Emmanuel, help me.
Yes, thank you, Josephine. I think we might have a question or two. Can you hear me?
What did you say?
We have a question.
Okay.
The chat box. Can you see it?
I'm going on the, okay, I can, yes, I took my, that was a response. Focus is very effective. And, you see somebody say, that's Mumbi. Thank you, Mumbi. So it means that emphasize that we need it in Kenya. Please, Emmanuel, try your very best. Okay. Also, somebody is also requesting for this RG Plus, as already mentioned. Okay. RG Plus taken together with omega-3 at the same time. No, I wouldn't. RG Plus is a drink. Okay. You just drink it during the day. The omega-3, you take it just before your food or immediately after food because of the oil component. Okay. Don't forget it contains omega-9, which is olive oil. Okay, organically produced olive oil. So for maximum absorption, take it with just before or immediately after food. Don't take it together with RG Plus. You can take it with plain water. So is it advisable to a pregnant woman and lactating mother taking? I already mentioned Josephine, my namesake. I said no, pregnant mother or lactating mother not allowed to take a forever focus, not allowed. And if you're talking about forever focus, but pregnant, for me, when we're talking about aloe vera gel, if you've never taken it before, I said what I would recommend, you can start taking it after 3 months, because forever does not want the people to be saying because of the product they were somebody experienced miscarriage, God forbid. So it is very, very important. It is very, very important to make sure. Somebody, I can't, okay. So, okay, thank you very much for that, Emmanuel. It is very, very important to be taking the aloe. If you've never taken it before, you can take it 3 months after getting pregnant, not before. But for me, because I so believe in the products, and I can recommend it to anybody. But again, we have to be careful because of compliance. So after 3 months, you can start taking it, which is very, very important for both mother and baby. All right, and especially omega-3 is good for the brain. I have so many children conceived on this important supplement for forever. I call them my aloe vera babies. They are all over East Africa. They are now age 9, age 10, age 12. They are super intelligent. They don't talk nonsense. They were conceived on these forever living products. Can you imagine? We continue to clap for forever. They are fantastic food supplements, naturally and scientifically researched. So our food supplement is important for brain health. Okay. Now here, you're saying is one supposed to take I don't know, all these supplements. Okay, why not? If you see the amount of supplement I take, the body will be saying happy. The body will say, yeah, this is what I've been taking. Remember, this supplement, they are to bridge the gap in whatever we are eating. It's a food supplement. So because we're eating a lot of rubbish nowadays, that's why I started with all the toxins we're exposed to, including those potatoes. Okay, full of all those things being exposed to, all these environmental toxins we're exposed to. This products, they are helping you to make sure you are cognitively okay. So there's no reason why you should not be, there's no side effect in our products. So if you are not financially challenged, why not take it? Because your body will be thanking you for it. Because let me tell you, if you are sick, hey, to be sick is expensive. You see the hospital bills. Then you'll be wishing that you've taken the, you wish that you have started taking the supplements. So I'm telling you the truth, what is happening in this nation, especially with hospital bills. So it's important for prevention to start taking the supplements as soon as possible if you have not already started. I have a client who's already using, all right, let me go down a bit, maybe I have to be quick. I have a client who's already using Pro B, Lyson Plus, for God's sake, very important. Well done for that charity. But whenever it takes the Lyson Plus, oops, what happens? You experience hallucination. We are joking. We don't have hallucination. We're sure it's not mixing it with other with the drugs. Those ones that those illicit drugs. Because I've been using a Lyson Plus since its introduction for the past 25 years, and I haven't seen anybody complain of this side effect. Hallucination. That's very okay. Is the person drinking enough water? Water is life. So if you are taking our products, if you are taking it with chai, it's not recommended. If you are taking it with soda, it's not recommended. If you are taking it with alcohol is an oxidant, it's not recommended. I hope that person is taking it with water. So I hope, can you go back to that person, please, Tariq, to make sure they're drinking enough water. So that could be the issue. Maybe they are not taking enough water. Okay, so that's my answer to that question. I hope you're happy, Charity. Go back to that person they're taking up. You mentioned MSG. It's not good for the brain. Of course. Oh, it's toxic to the brain. Monosodium glutamate. Those are food enhancer. It may make the food taste nice, but it's damaging. It causes, first of all, it's not good only for the brain. It's also not good for the gut because it causes leaky gut, which is equivalent to leaky brain. So for me, from today, if you are using MSG in your food, abandon it. It's not worth it. You can use a lot of spices. I use a lot of spices to gain the same effect without using this poison. Especially if you're giving to a children. Imagine the damage, apart from fluoride already in the water. Okay, so I would not recommend it, and I'm 100% telling you about MSG. It's not recommended, it's toxic to the brain. I know it's very popular in this nation or in Africa, but from today, you know it is toxic to the brain. Now, good. Thank you very much for your compliment. Thank you. Oh, great. Thank you. You did me well last week. That's why I didn't spend so much on the products today. You're a fantastic trainer, Grace. Thank you very much. And okay, thank you. Okay, another one. This is a charity again. I have a client who's using Aloe. I think I've already answered this question. So Emmanuel, I think we are done. Emmanuel.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Somebody here said that I wish other doctors could also embrace alternative medicine, such as it's a wish. No, that's a very interesting. I don't want to open a Pandora box here. This is why I'm happy to be training the young ones. Many young doctors, they are open-minded. The old ones, they are set up in their own ways. They have tunnel vision. They don't want to accept. And let me tell you, some of them, when you see them, they're operating where their clinics is operating in the conveyor belt. Money. They don't want to know about products. They're in the killing field, which is sad. I have to say it because this is the truth. Because my passion is the health of the nation. So for me, is to get as many doctors as possible, like Dr. Subra is helping us already. There are many other doctors in our business coming now. I need many open-minded, open doctors, which will help to reduce the incidence of cognitive or Alzheimer's in this nation. Those doctors who are open-minded, we need more. Because with our business, instead of going like headless chicken from one clinic to another, with the forever business doing well, there's no need for that. Forever is too good. If only they can have ears to listen. I've spoken to many, but again, I put them on the pending list. Okay? One day, most of the medication they're prescribing, they don't use it themselves. Working in different hospitals in UK, I used to see them with those medical reps coming and take them to those hotels with good food and all this. It's even worse here. I don't want to say much. I reserve my comment. So you are 100% correct. The other person has, his name is not there, use Samsung mobile phone. So I do agree with you. We wish, I don't believe what we call alternative medicine. For me, as a complementary practitioner, I believe in what you call complementary medicine. Okay? Not alternative. The word alternative I don't use. I say complementary. To complement or to bridge the gap in the food we are eating, to complement whatever is missing in the food we are taking for cognitive health, for homeostasis. Very, very important. So I'm finishing here now. I've gone, oh my goodness, it's 10 o'clock. I'm terribly sorry. Okay, we finish here today. Emmanuel, let's close.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Okay, you're
everyone.
welcome.